Well, I'm down at the Gladstone Pottery Museum. It was a working factory. It seems like they're doing a little bit more work over there. I don't know what they're doing. But they're quite majestic in their own way, these bottle ovens are. Quite a lot of history goes with them. Of course, the man who was responsible for firing the pottery, he was the head cod, which meant cod, cash on delivery. If he didn't fire the kiln right, he didn't get paid, and he would basically stay there until the job was completed. If we just swing round, you can see the spire of the church over there. There's loads to see about Gladstone Pottery Museum on the internet, YouTube, without me going put extra on. As I say, it is a working museum, and it was actually the last bottle kiln to be fired in the city of Stoke-on-Trent. The town of Longton was on the far side of where it all started, Tunstall and Burslem area, and mainly in the Longton town it was all bone china that was produced. As you go through the 5 towns, you'll find it's mostly earthenware or stoneware, porcelain, but here in Longton we made some of the finest china in the world. This is the entrance to the Gladstone Pottery Museum. I think, as the sign says here, Gladstone Pottery Museum. Well, just around the corner from the Gladstone Pottery Museum is Hudson and Middleton. They made bone china, and up until just about 2 years ago it was privately owned, and then it went into liquidation and a private company took it over and employed 25 employees, but it didn't last very long. It's now closed, so I don't know what the plan is for it. In fact, it's a nice building, like so many others in the area. But yeah, it's a sign of the times, I suppose, as one could say. But right across from it, obviously, is the church. The graveyard. Well, this is a story in itself, the graveyard. In the day this church was built, it cost £6,000 to have the gravestones removed, and they've placed them on the far wall over the other side. Cost £10,000. Sign of the times again. The graveyard used to get so sludgy from the soot and the smoke, it was virtually impossible to see it as a grass. It was mainly just sludge and clay. If you have a look at the photograph, you'll see how dark this building was, covered in soot, due mainly to the fact where it was. We were surrounded by bottle ovens, bottle kilns, and all belching out thick black smoke. And just in the town here, it was just totally surrounded. and of course with it being on top of the hill here, it caught all the smoke, etc. But I hope they find a use for the Hudson and Middleton factory. There's one or two factories like this. It's some lovely brickwork what's gone into it, really nice. But there you go. It's a shame. I thought it'd be interesting to show you this. It's right next door to the church. Hudson's and Middleton's just behind me. It was a public house. It was called the American. And it was well favoured by the American soldiers here during the Second World War. Have a look at the photograph, what it used to look like. It's now part of the college what's over there. Those bottle kilns have been saved. In fact, you can't pull any of these bottle kilns down now. They're all protected. We've done a lot of work here, and it's nice to see they've restored a lot of the old buildings. They've built new buildings, obviously, the old and the new. This bottle kiln is now being restored, like many others. This was a part of another, as we call them, pot banks. Those days have long gone, I'm afraid. I wanted to show you a street. It's called Short Street, but I don't think I can get to it. I think that they've fenced it off, but I'm going to have a look now. There is a preservation order on these cottages. In fact, the windows upstairs, at one time we used to have a guy what worked for the company, and he would come round and tap on the bedroom window, making sure you get up for work. Okay, you can see it was all cobbles, which will actually stand the test of time. The roads don't last this long, but this is what I wanted to show you. There the houses, and here's the factory. Well, that's about it, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the short little video.